The Raven and the Moonlit Riddles. Once upon a time, in a quaint village called Silver Vale, nestled beside the eerie Mistwood Forest, there lived a young girl named Ilara. She was only 16, with long brown hair that shimmered like autumn leaves and eyes as bright as the moon. Ilara was known for her sharp mind. She could solve the trickiest riddles, mend broken clocks, and even invent a tiny machine to draw water from the village well. But she was shy, speaking only to her wise grandmother, who had raised her since her parents were lost in a storm. Silver Vale was once a place of peace, where fields of barley glowed like gold and the river sparkled like silver. But 10 years ago, a wicked sorceress named Morgith emerged from the Mistwood Forest. She claimed the villagers had offended the forest spirits by felling trees for their homes. As punishment, every full moon, they had to send someone to face her 3 riddles. Fail, and the entire village would turn to stone, their fields doomed to wither forever. No one had ever solved all 3 riddles, and those who tried never returned. The villagers, gripped by fear, offered Morgith gifts of wheat, honey, and linen to appease her, but the curse grew tighter each year. Ilara often sat by her window on full moon nights, gazing at the forest, wondering if her mind could break the curse. Her grandmother, a wise woman with silver hair, always said, "Wit is a flame, Ilara, but only when you dare to step into the darkness will it shine." Ilara nodded, but doubt gnawed at her heart. She feared she lacked the courage to face Morgith. One fateful night, as the full moon hung like a silver coin in the sky, a raven, black as midnight, landed on Ilara's windowsill. Its feathers gleamed like woven shadows, and its eyes burned like twin rubies. Ilara flinched, but the raven spoke in a raspy human voice.
"Ilara, I am Corvus, messenger of the Mistwood. I have watched you for years, and I see wisdom in your soul. Do you dare face Morgith to save your village?"
Why me? I'm just an ordinary girl, not a knight or a mage.
Wisdom needs no sword or spell. It requires a heart that dares to think and eyes that dare to see. If you agree, I will guide you. But beware, Morgith tests not only your mind, but your courage and truth.
I'll go.
Ilara's heart pounded, but she thought of her grandmother, the children playing in the fields, and the fear that had haunted Silver Vale for too long. She donned her green cloak, tucked her notebook of ideas into her pocket, and lit a small lantern, leaving a note for her sleeping grandmother. "I'll return, I promise." She followed Corvus into the night. The Mistwood Forest was cold and foreboding, its twisted branches clawing at the sky. Fog cloaked everything, and Ilara could barely see a few steps ahead. Corvus flew before her, his wings slicing through the mist like a whisper of hope. As they passed a bubbling stream, ghostly shapes flickered in the water, their voices hissing temptations.
Turn back, girl. Morgith will devour your mind.
Ignore them, Ilara. They are the spirits of those who failed, consumed by fear. You can be different.
Ilara clutched her notebook, her heart racing but her resolve firm. Corvus's words steadied her, and she pressed on, deeper into the forest's heart. After hours of trekking, a crumbling stone bridge appeared, spanning a chasm so deep its bottom was lost in shadow. In the bridge's center stood a massive stone wolf, its eyes glowing an eerie green. Corvus landed on Ilara's shoulder, his voice grave.
This is Morgoth's first test. The statue will pose a riddle. Answer wrongly, and it will come to life and tear you apart.
I am what no one wants, yet all must take. I come unbidden and leave without farewell. What am I?
No one wants, but all must take. Taxes? No, something universal.
Think deeper, Alara, beyond the surface.
Ilara's mind raced. She wanted to flee, but Corvus's gaze urged her to think. She opened her notebook, her fingers trembling. She thought of her grandmother's tales of life and death. A spark lit in her mind.
You are death.
The wolf roared, then cracked apart, revealing the path ahead. Corvus's eyes gleamed with pride.
Well done, Alara, but this is only the beginning.
At last, they reached a moonlit clearing, where ancient stones formed a circle. In its center stood Morgoth, tall and terrifying, her black cloak billowing like a storm. Her hair flowed like spiderwebs, and her eyes blazed like embers. She laughed, her voice cutting through the night.
A mere girl. Has Silver Veil grown so desperate? Do you think your little mind can defeat me?
I'll try.
Trust yourself, Alara. Morgoth is strong, but your wit is sharper.
I will give you 3 riddles. Solve them all and the curse breaks. Fail, and you and your village will turn to stone.
Morgoth raised her hand, and the air hummed with magic. The first riddle came.
I am everywhere yet invisible. I wield power but cannot be touched. What am I?
Time? No, time can be measured.
Look around you, Alara. What moves the forest?
You are the wind.
Morgoth's eyes narrowed, but she nodded. The second riddle followed.
I am not alive, yet I make others live. I have no form, yet I am ever present. What am I?
Fire? No, fire has form.
Think of what sustains your village.
You are water.
Morgoth snarled, her hair whipping in the wind. She raised both hands, and a green flame erupted in the circle.
I am what all seek, but when found, many lose. What am I?
Gold, power, no.
Think of your grandmother's words, Alara. What did she teach you?
You are happiness.
Morgoth screamed as the green flame died. Her body dissolved into black smoke, vanishing into the night. The stone circle trembled, and a warm breeze swept through, carrying the forest's whisper. The curse is broken. As dawn broke, Alara and Corvus returned to Silver Vale. The villagers gathered, their faces alight with wonder. Alara told her tale, and they hailed her as a hero. Her grandmother embraced her, whispering words of pride.
You've made your flame of wit shine, my dear.
You didn't just solve riddles, Alara. You conquered fear. Your wisdom has saved a land.
Corvus perched on a nearby branch, then spread his wings and soared into the mistwood, leaving behind a single black feather that gleamed in the sunlight. Silver Vale flourished once more. Ilara, no longer shy, taught the village children to think, to tinker, and to tell tales of wisdom. Every full moon, the villagers gathered under the stars, and sometimes a raven would soar above, reminding them that wit, paired with courage and truth, could banish any darkness. Wisdom is a flame powerful and bright, but only when guided by courage and heart does it light the world.
The end.